first and foremost, it's absolutely thrilling for us to be here on behalf of Bentley. I personally can't really contain my excitement, and I think it's only fitting, and in true business spirit and personal spirit, to invite our partner to unveil the magnificent beauty in the Continental GT. So Mark, if you would join me, I'd like to unveil the car if you don't mind.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Bentley Continental GT. A good car, a fast car, the best in its class. These are the words of our founder, W.O. Bentley, when he told the audience about 100 years ago what Bentley would stand for. And it was really, you think back 100 years ago, a very audacious comment to make. And as we look today to the Bentley Continental GT, the third generation, it's even more fearless, even more bold when you look at the expression and what has transpired from the colleagues and the team and the family and crew to bring this magnificent vehicle to the market. This is the third generation, and if you recall back to 2003 when the Bentley Continental GT came to market, it really rocked the world. I mean, everyone really took notice of the Continental GT back then. And to have the third generation, again, I believe it really builds up to the very best in its class. The challenge was to create the very best Grand Tourer in the world. So I talked to Jeff Coleman and I said, you know, instead of me talking about the car, I should give you all the keys to the car to go experience it. And he said, Mark, this would be a really bad idea because if they're like you would be out on the road with the car and you wouldn't come back for the reception and then Paul would get really mad at you. So we're not going to do that, I'm sorry, but if you want to drive one of these days, we'll definitely make that happen. So if you would, allow me to indulge you, if I can, on a few very particularly favorite points, if I can. While I love the car and the magnificence of it overall, I'll point out just a few. You know, first and foremost, when you look at the car, it is absolutely a Bentley, and it's recognizable to be a Bentley Continental GT. But immediately you notice the changes. First and foremost, you look at the Bentley grille and the lights, which are signature to our company. The grille now is more upright to give a more bold and muscular feel to the vehicle and aesthetic. If you look at the lights, which I have to say personally are one of my favorites, they're inspired by cut crystal glassware. And as you see the light radiating through, it really brings a pronunciation to the light. It's absolutely stunning. As you go around to the car and work your way around, one of the unique signature points that you'll notice in the next generation Continental GT is a very short overhang. And this is where you have designers and engineers really working together as one. And the value of this from a design perspective is from a proportion, from a beauty, and from an aesthetic. And from an engineering point of view, of course, you get a better drivability and a better weight distribution overall when you notice the short overhang. So wheels going forward, you have the engine going back to give you the beauty, but also the drivability of a wonderful car. As you get to the side of the vehicle, again, for me, it's absolutely striking. It's so stunning. And I think out of any manufacturer, with all due respect to them all, to achieve the sharp lines, we call this the power line in design, and of course the haunch, is very, very unique. We use a technique called superfoam technology, where we actually heat sheets of aluminum up to about 500 degrees Celsius, and then they're air blown onto the mold to create the shape that you see. This is really, really inspirational, and I think absolutely stunning and absolutely beautiful. Another signature element that I'm absolutely in love with, and I think people absolutely gravitate toward it, is the interior components. They're very, very much signature to the Bentley brand. And what you can take away immediately as you experience it is absolute serenity and harmony. We don't have materials competing against each other. The wood complements complements the leather complements the metal, etc., to give you this beauty, this aesthetic, this atmosphere that's unparalleled to anything that's in the marketplace. Again, features that really strike out to me that I absolutely love. Following function, you'll notice the knurling, the beautiful knurling in the vehicle, whether it's the gear shift or on the air vent panels. You'll notice the leather, which is really another signature element. The diamond quilting, in one single diamond and diamond quilting, 712 angled stitches in order to make this pattern come to life within every single vehicle. And of course, the display, the rotating Bentley display. So a 12.3-inch monitor, but if you turn the dial, it'll turn and you'll have 3 analog gauges. Turn it again and you have the beautiful veneer. So depending on what you want, you can absolutely get it, and it's a gorgeous, gorgeous complement to the vehicle overall. I think the other piece that, again, for me, that strikes out is the back of the car. I find it aesthetically absolutely beautiful. And when we talk about a driveway test or, hey, did you get a new car? People will absolutely validate you got a brand new Bentley Continental GT. It's absolutely beautiful. What you don't see that I can't show you right now due to time is also what's under the hood. First and foremost, W12, brand new W12 engine, designed, tested, hand-built in Crewe. We generate 626 horsepower, 664 foot-pounds of torque out of the new W12 engine. As you go through the vehicle a little further, of course, you notice the aluminum body, reinforced slightly in certain areas with some steel, but the value of it, the car actually lost 85 kilograms worth of weight, which, as you know, weight contributes to the overall drivability and dynamic of the vehicle itself. It is not unique to the Bentley family and to the Bentley customers to want to personalize. And just to pull out a few points when we talk about personalization, 17 exterior colors that move and advance to 70 exterior colors. We have 18 different leather options, and as well as wood options, 8 different wood options. So the customer gets to personalize as much as they want, and if that's not enough for them, they can also employ Mulliner to commission their vehicle as well to really fulfill their dreams. I have to say, overall, though, from an aesthetic, from a drivability perspective, the car absolutely, truly delivers in every single category. One of the things that I don't think a lot of people really recognize is really the human element of Bentley. And I think many of you know the story of the Bentley boys and girls, and we have to ask ourselves, what would Bentley be like if we didn't have the Bentley boys and girls? And these were customers that were really driven and a thirst to challenge, to achieve. And while sometimes they've been described as just flamboyant racers, what people don't really realize is as much as they enjoyed society, they gave back to society. And I think that's a fundamental point that grounds not only yesterday's Bentley boys and girls, but as we look into the future at tomorrow's Bentley boys and girls and today's Bentley boys and girls and Bentley customers overall, yes, we do have professional athletes. Yes, we do have celebrities. But 99% of our customers are people that are entrepreneurs, that had a success, that really wanted to succeed and do something different. But the thing that differentiates them is their thirst to give back to society. And that's what's really thrilling about the Bentley brand overall, is not only the product, not only the brand, but also the human element that makes Bentley come alive. And with that, I'd just like to close on the human element. And I cannot thank, of course, the City of Toronto. I'd like to also recognize our dear partner, Paul Cummins, for this lovely, lovely facility. I think, you know, as manufacturers, we all dream to display our vehicles in jewelry boxes like this. And we can't thank you enough for the partnership, for what you do from an experience in making the brand come to life in Toronto. So ladies and gentlemen, again, the third generation Bentley Continental GT. Thank you for your kind attention, and it's thrilling to be with you here today. Thank you very much.